Okay, so what I would do with this promotion that I would have is that regardless of the turnout, I would go to different arenas like from the get go. You have to jump in, and you can't be afraid to do that. I know it's troubling, especially when you're trying to create, something out of nothing, and that's really hard to do because you want to have good turnout because you want your production to look good, but you need to jump in with both feet, regardless if 20 people turn out or 20,000. So my point is that I don't think TNA gets that. TNA is just too scared to leave the impact zone, and they need to get out. But for me, I think. I think for me and in the promotion I would have, it wouldn't matter, because if I started it, I would obviously start it with a shit ton of money, due to investors or deals, a sponsorship maybe, I don't know, but my point is that I think it has to be that way, and you have to start going to shows because, once you start going to towns more, and then, everybody, the people that do go to those towns and the people that say, like, oh, shit, like, that was such a good show, and, over time, if your name gets big, people in that town are going to be like, oh, I heard that last show that was here was good. Let's go this one. And, obviously, pay-per-views, some are going to be better than others, of course, but, if you have consistently, a good show, then people are going to want to tune out, or tune in. I meant to tune in or come out to the shows. Thank you. Okay. Don't tune out. That would be bad. That would be bad business for me. But my point is that, you have to travel and you have to set territories. And let's see. I would. I think I would use. Shit. See, this is an interesting theory I've had. Do you eliminate the steel guardrails around the ringside, or do you keep them? Because if you keep them, then you give wrestling an excuse to appear the same way it's always been. But if you get rid of them and you push back the seats a little bit from the ring padding on the outside, and you put security guards around it, you make it look more legit. To me, anyway, MMA is that way. Not only just MMA, but sports altogether. When you watch a Laker game, okay, and you see the Laker game, and you see Kobe sitting there, Jack Nicholson is sitting like right next to him, and then there's people that are sitting right next to Jack Nicholson that you don't know them at all, and they're sitting right next to him, and there's no steel guardrail between them two. They're equal. They're on the same playing field. You see, and I think that has to happen here. I think that you need to get rid of the steel guardrails, or whatever WWE is using, that padding on the outside. It's very strange. But, I say get rid of it, and, you push back your audience a little bit, and, it actually, fills up more rows, a couple more rows anyway, in your, your actual, like, bleacher seats, I guess you'd call it that. And, you make it look more legit. That's what I would do. I would use a 4-sided ring, black ring ropes, black turnbuckle, padding, and black painted steel posts. I think that would look tight. I just think that would just look really professional. Professional. But anyways, that's what I would do with that. And I think I would get rid of the steel steel steps. Excuse me, why couldn't I say steel steps? But I would get rid of the steel steps, and I would put in like those smaller ones that like they're only like that long, or you know, like to like go up, but they're like step ladders. So like they're like really small, and like each step is like that wide, you know, and you know like I would put like maybe like one or two. You know, in place of like the steel steps, but like more on the side of the ring, like not on the corner, like there, but like if that was the ring and you're looking at it from an aerial view, it'd be like on the side, you know. I know it's very hard to diagram because whatever, but I hope you get it. But my point is that, you know, I think wrestling does have to change, and, you know, I think my promotion would do a damn good job. And, you know, I'm not expecting to make money like Vince McMahon, you know, like that's a show, and I understand it's a show. And, you know, people don't want to accept that the WWE is a show, but it's always been a show, even when you loved it, even when you hated it, it's still been a show. And its format has never changed, and I think TNA doesn't have a format, and they have absolutely no idea what they're doing. And that's upsetting because I used to be a huge TNA fan, and I really, really, really hated WWE for a while. But my point is that, you know, WWE has always been a show, so I can't hate them for that. You know, even if it's still bad, but you know, I can't hate them, and I can't hate TNA because they have given me good matches, I guess. But overall, I think wrestling does have to change. Mainstream wrestling, by the way, is what I'm talking about. You know, I know there's promotions out there that do the same thing, and you know, like I'm sure that they, you know, I'm sure that they've had this idea for a long time, and they probably feel the same way I do, and that's great. You know, and you know, I'm not saying that, you know, I'm not trying to bite off them. I'm just saying that, you know, for a professional company that's a professional wrestling company that's, you know, mainstream, that's what I would do with it. And you know, whether it works or it doesn't, I think it's worth the attempt. Because it's a lot better than Wrestling Society X. But anyways, I'm gonna peace now. So, grip and sip, man.